He's an 8-time Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Award winner. And he snapped a ball through his legs.
Wait, why does your name get to go first? Shut up.
This is Scone T.
Because they made us.
Welcome in, Scone and T, as LSU football is in the throes of fall camp. You find us here at Oliver Twist. It's where we are every single Wednesday for Scone and T on Perkins Road. We're on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel or the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page if you want to join us live on Wednesdays. If you're watching or listening on demand, we appreciate you for being here. But just set a reminder that you can always join us on Wednesday nights live, and looking forward to doing it all throughout football season because football is upon us. So I'm Matt. He's tons of fun. And LSU, Brian Kelly has really done the unthinkable.
Oh, okay. Pray tell, Matt, what do you find to be so unthinkable?
He's lost 15 pounds since he moved here.
Well, being in this weather will have that effect on you.
Who the hell moves to Louisiana and loses weight? It's incredible.
Someone who is the exact Fortune 500 CEO type that we've been talking about this entire time, dude. Yes, bro. Yes.
Stress.
Yes.
You think it's stress weight loss?
I mean, look, I don't think you can ignore how pressure can affect one's appetite and everything else, and I think that's certainly in there.
Yeah, so he was getting on the elevator.
But it is.
He was getting on the elevator in football ops today when he was leaving the press conference after practice. I was like, hey man, have you lost weight? He goes, yeah. I was like, seriously, you're the only person I know that's moved to Louisiana and lost weight. How much have you lost? Like
nice
the doors,
job getting in with him too, dude.
Not ain't even that.
Nice little brown nosing, dude. I feel you, bro.
No, but it's legit. I'm serious. Like you're not legitimately interested by that?
I am. So what'd he say?
Lost 15 pounds, and then the door closed.
So this is what I think on that is that absolutely look stress and constant work. I mean, you look at what they've done on the recruiting trail, all the reforms that they've made, like, sure. But also, I do think there are certain people out there when the stress and everything gets the greatest, that's a lot of times when they buckle down on kind of exercising the hardest as a way of staying mentally even keeled. So I could see him locking in, and plus he's out there fucking practice all day, and it's like 100 degrees every day. Like, yeah. That'll do it to you.
I got my notebook.
Yeah, you've been to more practice than I have, so I'm going to be picking your brain today.
So as we do this live, or if you're listening on demand, it's a Wednesday evening, and today Brian Kelly gave full access to the media to practice. Got to watch the whole practice again, which that's twice now, and it's just unprecedented, man. It's wild to be able to sit there and watch an entire practice, including the scrimmage session. So I'll just, instead of going through all of my notes, which are 4 pages, and during the scrimmage, I did like I chart. You've seen me chart during games. Like I did what I for each of the drives.
No, you had good stats earlier.
So, and again, very unofficial, which we can go through, but I feel like I had a really good grasp on what happened today. A couple of big takeaways. If you're interested in like my full notes, everything of it, did it to start AFR on Wednesday. It's going to be on LSU Daily on Thursday. You can get the AFR YouTube channel. Like, you can find my full 30-minute. But if I did that all here, it would be the whole damn show. So I'll just give you a couple of big point takeaways. Jaden Daniels went first during the scrimmage.
Oh, yeah. Seems like he's – well, I'll continue.
No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's tough for me to speak on these things because the practice coincides with the show, and so I haven't been able to go out there as much.
That's been my life for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
and it seems like, though, from everybody that I'm talking to, just from a basic rep breakdown, that if we were doing a pole position thing, that Jaden Daniels would maybe have the pole on Garrett Nussmeier right now.
I think if they played a game today, Jaden would start. I think they would both play. When they went into the scrimmage, Jaden took first series, 7 plays, 80 yards, touchdown. It was beautiful. He was 4 or 5 for like 60 yards, something. I mean, they just went boom, boom, boom. He had a beautiful 15-yard scramble. It looked so fluid. The biggest takeaway of the day is on this day, the offense kicked the shit out of the defense. It actually gave me a lot of hope because people often ask, hey, do you feel any differently watching camp? What have you learned? And my one consistent takeaway has been I've gotten more bullish on the LSU defense. I really think this defense is going to be good. I'm not telling you they're going to be Georgia from last year, but I think they're going to be good enough. Certainly the defensive line is going to be great. I think they're going to be good enough to keep LSU in games.
So those linebackers have started to grow on you, the inside guys, a little bit?
They even did. So Mike Jones and Greg Penn are your starters. I think their base is going to be a nickel where Greg Brooks is your nickel box safety. The starting 11, I think the first 11 they've got figured out. Well, 10. I think they're still working on the corner opposite Jarek Bernard Converse.
So that's what I was say though, but isn't who's old boy? Why do I keep blanking on his name for McNeese?
Colby Richardson.
Yeah, so Colby Richardson is one of the stories of camp.
Yeah, he's been great
thus far, and it makes sense. I mean, if we're giving Frank as much credit as we do, and it is well deserved in terms of being a recruiter, recognizing talent. Frank was his head coach.
Yeah.
So, certainly, he knows who could hack it at this level. And Colby Richardson might earn himself a starting job.
Brian Kelly said when Richardson got here, he was 167. He's put on 20 pounds since June.
Damn.
He said he was this great athlete that just wasn't physically able to compete at this level, but worked really hard since June. He's put on 20 pounds, and now he's now physically he can do it. But I'll tell you what, Armani Goodwin dump trucked him today, that's so. Here's
Armani Goodwin should dump truck a corner,
but Armani Goodwin's 5'8". One of the big things is Armani Goodwin is now 5'8", 200 pounds.
That's what I'm saying. That's a leverage fucking monster.
But he wasn't last year. Goodwin was skinny last year. He has put on he is grown.
Interesting. I've always thought about Goodwin as a power runner.
No. Not last year. I mean, he was scat last year. Even in the spring, he scored the first touchdown of the spring game on a beautiful run to the pylon, bounced outside at the pylon. But all right, so a couple of quick takeaways. Offense was awesome today. Daniels QB1.
That makes me happy to hear.
Noah Kane and Armani Goodwin have passed John Emery.
Really?
Emery's running third right now. They all are taking reps, but Kane looks healthy. And for a guy that was as highly rated, had as good a freshman year, he got injured and got Wally pipped at Penn State. He looks healthy, and I think they're really comfortable with him right now. The receivers today had a hell of a good day. Jeray Jenkins balled out. In the scrimmage, he had 4 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. He caught a pass on every one of the drives except one. The offensive line, Brian Kelly did tell us, is not, even though they've stayed with his first 5, I asked him point blank, are you set with your first 5? And he said no. They're going to give Cam Wire, Charles Turner, and Marcus Dummerville a chance with the ones this weekend, and they're going to move Bradford to guard. But the one other big takeaway is, and it was an offensive day.
Which guard do you know? Right guard, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Probably because that's where Miles Frazier's playing. So if you're going to kick Bradford inside, you could kick Frazier out the tackle, which would make sense.
Well, I thought Wire was entering the game, though.
Wire could go in at right, or he could go in the left. We really don't know. I mean, we're all assuming that Will Campbell is your left tackle, but we don't know. But the other really concerning thing today, and this is where you are equipped to answer this or talk about this. They really struggled today with the shotgun snap for the first time.
I heard that.
And there was It was the second series that the ones took, and Jaden Daniels started the series, got him down to the 20. And when they got down to the red zone, they put in Nuss, and Nuss finished the series, and then Jaden went with the 2s, then Nuss went with the 2s. So this was a drive that both quarterbacks ran, but when they got into the red zone, this is where Nuss, he threw a screen to Armani Goodwin, and he dump trucked 22. Colby Richardson. So he gets it down to about the 6-yard. He scored, but they said he stepped out of bounds.
So they were tackling. This was a scrimmage.
This was full. This was full go. And so they said Goodwin stepped out of bounds, although he got into the end zone. So they ruled him out at the 5.
Fucking Michael Ford.
So, that was a 2011 reference. I got it.
That's my boy.
So Nuss had to burn a timeout before the first down play. There was a low snap. They gave it to 27. He got 2 yards. Second down, low snap again. Mason Smith took the fucking handoff. He annihilated Josh Williams on this play. And on the third down, he rolled it again. 3 straight downs, he rolled the snap to Nussmeier. And this was the biggest oh shit moment for Nussmeier. It's 3rd and goal from the 5. Nussmeier picks up the ball, and he's rolling right, and he just starts retreating. He retreated almost to the 30. He just went back.
Did he get rid of it, though?
He threw it into the end zone.
Wow.
And Jay Ward dropped an interception.
Oh, okay.
Like, it should have been intercepted. Jay Ward just dropped it. Like, that was one of those moments where you go, that's the thing that people talk about, the gunslinger or whatever. He had let me be clear.
The problem is that's exactly how his touchdown against Arkansas last year played out. Was a fucking pirouette in the air, throw to the very back of the end zone, somehow touchdown.
Maybe it was a fuck it moment. Let's see if it happens again. But Jay Ward dropped what would have been an interception. But aside from that, I thought Nuss threw the ball exceptionally well. Daniels is explosive. He had a beautiful play on the right sideline to Jeray Jenkins for 15 yards, like over the corner under the safety. It was beautiful. I mean, he's just...
So he's throwing the ball well.
Yeah.
If he's throwing the ball well, he's going to be very hard to overcome.
Yeah.
Because of dynamic playmaking. Yeah.
So anyways, let's talk about the snaps, because that's... I mean, I think a couple of episodes ago we did discuss this, where in 2020, Chasen Hines was going to be the center, and he could not get the snap. And that's why Liam Shanahan played center. Shanahan had never played center either. But Hines could not get the snap down, and so Shanahan ended up playing center. So now you look at Dellinger, and it's like, okay, how correctable is this?
Well, I mean, it's okay. We haven't seen every practice, right? But you've seen quite a bit of practice. Like Brian Kelly's made this very open. I got to go to one. Would you say the CQ exchange problems of today were the exception rather than the rule?
From what we've seen, yes.
From what we've seen, right? So we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So that's why I would not hit the panic button. These things can come in waves, like when you mess one up, and obviously Mason Smith kind of entered one of those zones where he's just athletics is a weird thing. We all know this. It's almost like anything else in life, but especially if you're going against someone, sometimes you just hit a flow state where you feel like you know what the other person is doing and there's nothing they can do to stop you. And it seems like that's what Mason Smith hit in that red zone period. And if you're Garrett Dellinger...
It was the whole day.
Okay, well, so he just had one of those hair on fire days.
Buy stock in Mason Smith. Like, even before today, like, you talk to people who were there, whatever, and it's like, bro, they can't block Mason Smith. Like, nobody can block him.
Good.
I mean, he is... I am so excited to watch him play. And, like, dude, when he... I'm sorry to interrupt, but, like, when he hit the TFL on Josh Williams, he let out this,
sounds like it was a little Jadeveon Clowney-like.
It was this, like, guttural yell, and you were like, oh.
You know what they call that, Matt? Have you ever seen Dead Poets Society?
No.
They call that a yawp. You know what a man does? He goes to the woods and lets out a guttural yawp.
Okay.
And that's what Mason Smith did. But they can come in waves, right?
Yes,
you're getting your ass kicked. You're pissed. All of a sudden, and he's at the point where snapping is not muscle memory to him, right? Like, he has to keep taking hundreds of extra reps to where he's not thinking about it. Because right now, if he's not at least committing, even if it's like almost a subconscious part of his brain, like, he is still committing some part of his brain to snapping that ball correctly. And so when Mason Smith is beating him like that, and he has to suddenly put all of his focus into trying to block Mason Smith, the snap becomes afterthought. And this sounds so incredibly simple, but a lot of times in life, this is the way of things. Like, the snap is priority number fucking one.
Gotta be.
Like, it does not matter if you get fucking your ass beat. I mean, you probably won't play if it happens too much, right? But, like, the snap is nothing can happen if you cannot successfully complete the CQ exchange. But, again, I think it's the exception, not the rule. I think more time on task, more reps will help it be encoded more as a muscle memory type of deal. And just, look, it's a completely different set of techniques than you're using at guard or tackle. Like, the only thing that bums me out is that he doesn't have a Ben Wilkerson to learn from. Because Ben Wilkerson helped me more than anybody in my career, specifically with that position. Like, in terms of, because a lot of times, I bet you when he's snapping the ball, he's short-arming it because he's trying to get his hands back up, right?
100%.
You have to get down when you're playing center. You have to understand that you have to snap, punch, and get your first step in all at the same time. It's different than other positions. So he has to get to the point where he's not worried about getting his snapping hand back up there because he develops this powerful offhand. For me, it was with my right hand. So it'd always be like... So you're like, it's like a 1-2 sort of deal a lot of times. At every other position on the O-line, you're coming together. And so he's probably still relying on a lot of that old encoded muscle memory where he's used to bringing both hands up together, and he has to get it down. Like, you want to slow down a nose, you give him a little shot in the head just real quick off the bat. A little shot in the head, and then you get your head, and then it's like a little 3-hit combo. So it's one of those deals where it's very understandable given where he's at the center development timeline, and I would think it is correctable because it has not been happening like consistent. Like guys that can't get down the snap normally cannot get it down. Like every day they're having multiple fuck ups.
That was Jason Hines.
Yes, and I've seen others go through that as well. Will Blackwell couldn't snap, bitch, but
he does have a beautiful All-American canvas oil painting.
Yeah, but he could have snapped. Dude. He does have a great oil paint. He's like kind of looking over his shoulder. He's like a little coy. He's like,
the weird
hey
thing.
Guys.
So when you go in the Lawton room,
I'm an All-American lineman.
When you go in the Lawton room, they have these large oil paintings that Jack Joubert has done for every first-team All-American. And it's so bizarre because Wills is the only one where he's posed like looking over.
Why do they do that? Everybody else got these classic football poses, and he's doing like
only one.
He's doing like a bikini shoot.
Who's the weirdo in 60 whose mustache doesn't touch in the middle?
Whoa. Relax about the mustache, okay? Not all of our mustaches. Mine don't connect right here, and it makes me very self-conscious. The point of all of this is that, again, guys that normally can't get it down are fucking it up every day. Dellinger's not done that. This sounds like a bad day and a great learning lesson for him. And again, if you're Brad Davis, and I'm sure he is doing this, Dellinger has to get snaps every practice. Before, after workouts, like literally anytime he can be out there getting snaps and steps, snap, step, punch, all at the same time, he should be.
Do you see? Gulf South said, T-Bob actually talking serious about football. Look at that. He does know a thing or two after all.
Yeah, but I'd have sex with that football, right?
That's the point I made last week. Lean into the shit you know. Don't avoid the shit you know. Lean into the shit you know.
This is my
wheelhouse.
That's
really good. The snap offhand punch thing was really good. That's really good.
Well, look, I'm not worried.
I'm complimenting you.
I'm not.
It had to be really good. If I'm complimenting you, it's fucking good shit.
I will say this. I'm not worried about that.
Hurry up and say something really inappropriate so I can put it on TikTok and get 1 million views.
These duck fries look like, more like fuck fries. Am I right?
No.
Okay, anyway, but that is duck fat fries right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that is a blue burger that looks so good. Yeah, blue cheeseburger.
We have to do this for another 42 minutes and not eat that.
Yeah, just sitting in front of us, teasing us.
The food at Oliver Twist
is so good.
Chef does an awesome job here. It's a great spot for lunch, dinner. Like, this place is packed right now, by the way.
I agree. It's popping off.
Okay. All right. What else? Offensive line, receivers today.
One more thing on Dellinger.
Yep.
I think there will be fucked ups during the season. You just have to keep him to a minimum, and I believe that he is talented enough. Though, let's see how Charles Turner does this weekend. But I believe he's talented enough, or if he is, it will justify maybe incurring a couple of fuck-ups this year. Even though I never fumbled a snap, so I want to know, dude.
If you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, smash the like button. We appreciate that greatly. If you're watching live or on demand.
Ooh, Matt. Mark Cumby says, cook some fries in beef tallow. Did you know? The original McDonald's fries were cooked in beef tallow.
I'm a revisionist history follower.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah. Fuck McDonald's fries, dude. I never had the real one. I want some of them pre-1989 McDonald's fries. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
All right, what else do you want to know from today or in general? Kicker. Place kicker is going to be number 34.
I've heard place kicker's maybe not the best right now.
So,
was it good today? And it's weird because LSU has had an incredible run since Colt David. Like the Connor Culp year, and who else was it that kicked that year?
You should actually go back to John Corbello. They have had an incredible run really since John Corbello. Because you're forgetting like Josh Jasper was an All-American.
No, Jasper's post-Colt David. He was with me. He was my freshman.
Right, no, I'm just saying even then. Okay, so David was 07. Yeah. Jasper Delahousse.
Was Chris Jackson maybe right before Colt David? Or not Chris Jackson. Why am I blanking right now? It doesn't fucking matter. The point is, we've been spoiled in the golden age of LSU with having very consistent kicking for the college level.
Ogeron's first year, 2017, was a disaster, but then Cole Tracy got it right. And then,
Greg McMahon, that was one of his greatest strengths.
No doubt.
He was incredible. So that is one of my big question marks is where's that position going to be at? Because at a year where you're looking like you may be in a lot of dogfights, like that position takes on a lot of added value.
So I wanted to go watch them I wasn't going to spend the whole practice watching kickers, but I watched for one of the 5-minute periods while they kicked. Damian Ramos, he wears number 34. He's a redshirt freshman from Baltimore. He, by a mile, has the strongest leg and is just so obvious. You don't have to know shit about kicking. You just watch him, and it's like this guy's hitting the top of the net, and these guys are getting it over the crossbar. It's just he's booming it.
But he's accurate, more accurate than the others.
I watched last practice. I watched as well. I watched Dybert, the freshman. He hit one that was like a C. I mean, the fucker it did this. I mean, he missed the upright by 15 yards. And he may be good in time. It may just take time. But Ramos, and so when they went into the scrimmage today, Ramos was the place kicker. Now, he missed a 37-yarder. It was a bad snap, and he just didn't get set, and he hooked it left. But then he made a 23-yarder. But to the point, T, a 37-yarder, you're at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's close.
If the ball gets to the 20-yard line, you have got to get points 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So to miss a 37-yard field goal is like, so.
You don't want. I mean, everybody remembers.
One more thing,
or
real
if you
quick.
watch closely enough, you remember how that one bad year, 2017, felt, where you hit it at basically a 50-50 rate. I think it was like a coin. It was like 60%, which is just a brutal feeling.
It was Culp and this kid from Catholic High. It was the walk-on. Forget his name right now. Jack Gonsolin. They both split time, and neither could really figure it out. But Jay Bramblett, I think, is going to be a very important person on this team. Not only is he punting, he's also the holder. And Ramos is a righty. Both Mata and Dybert are lefties. So he's going to have to hold for both left and right-footed kickers, depending on who goes that. Yeah, so like Jay Bramblett he wears number 19. He's going to be an important guy on this team.
Who's kicking off?
Don't know yet, but it feels like that would be Dybert.
That's another thing that we've taken for granted in the McMahon era is he got Avery Atkins, and Avery Atkins never fucked up a kickoff.
Yeah. Slade Roy, the transfer from East Carolina, he's the long snapper. So Slade Roy's the snapper, Bramblett's the holder, and right now it's Ramos who's place kicking. So
one other thing that I've heard about from camp is that Malik Neighbors is out here balling out right now, that he may be the offensive MVP of camp thus far. Did he do anything today?
Malik Neighbors is there are two guys on this team that as best I can tell, that are really physically gifted and are going to make plays, and when they make the play, they're going to fucking let you know they made the play.
Hell yeah, dude.
One of them is Malik Neighbors, and the other is Mekhi Gardner, the cornerback transferring from
Well, I mean,
from
come on. Are you really playing corner if you're not letting the fucking world know when you make a big play?
Dude, today, so when they go from individual, they kind of came together and they do like a receiver versus DB drill. So the quarterbacks are throwing routes. It's not even 7-on-7. They do 7-on-7s, but this is just a drill where it's quarterback, receiver, and there is a DB. And so it's a one-on-one DB
True
receiver.
one-on-ones.
Yes.
Which is an offensive slanted drill in that instance, whereas one-on-one pass rush is actually defensively slanted. But yes.
Mekhi Gardner, when the horn sounds to start this session, Mekhi's the corner, the defense is on the other field. They're coming to the offense. And Mekhi Gardner starts yelling from the other field at Jere Jenkins.
Yeah.
Because he knows that they're going to be matched up.
Yeah.
He's like, Jere, I'm coming to get in your ass. I mean, just was all over.
You have bottles. He's like, Warriors, come out and play.
And by the way, Mekhi Gardner got the PBU.
Okay, there you go, dude. Which again, you have to give extra weight to a defensive dub in that drill.
Now, when they went 7-on-7s in goal line, Jere Jenkins had maybe the catch of the day. It was a contested ball against Gardner that he caught in the back of the end zone, and when he got it, Nuss gave one of these like Nuss made the throw on the run. It was a great play, dude. The other great play when they were in that goal line, when they were doing goal line 7-on-7, was who made the catch here. Oh, it was Brian Thomas. Jark Bernard Converse, right, like in the front left pylon, had awesome coverage. You know, like sometimes the DB will get their hand in between the receivers.
Yes, yeah.
He still made the catch.
Oh, and he like just
he made the catch
hands,
with,
dude.
Yeah.
Who made that catch?
Brian Thomas.
Okay.
Now Brian Thomas did drop the 2-point conversion today. 26-year-old Canadian whiskey.
26-year-old Canadian whiskey. God damn, dude. Take a sip of that thing.
Let me see. This is why you come to Oliver Twist, people, because they just have how many bottles do you have on the bar again?
Like
1,130 bottles. All right, Obtainium Canadian whiskey.
Obtainium. Matt, do you know what unobtainium is? Unobtainium is what, or is it vibranium? Who named it? Unobtainium is something nerdy that I can't think about. It's got a good mouthfeel.
I haven't tasted it yet. That was the nose. A little light on the nose.
Okay.
Canadian whiskey tends to be a bit lighter, sweeter.
Okay.
Think Crown Royal for all you cheap whiskey drinkers.
You know what pisses me off? Canadian bacon.
Carnies.
It's not actually fucking bacon. It's just ham. How is that? Is that pretty alcoholic?
It's all pepper on the palate. There's really not much finish. 26 years.
Wait, so
taste it. Just turn the glass. Just taste it.
I don't know if I want to. Did you check the proof on that?
It's low. It's not high. It's just all pepper.
Hold on. Let me see that fucking bottle. Take another sip of that thing.
The proof is right here. It's
that's 70. That's 80% alcohol.
That's yeah.
No, that's 80% alcohol. He was trying to fuck with you and make you drink like the equivalent of almost. It's like a
it's like 160. Yeah. It's all like heat and pepper on the palate.
Dude, he handled it no problem. I thought it was gonna be like a little like whiskey Everclear type shit. I don't know if this shit's 26 years old. Hey, is this really 26 years old? Oh, it really is. Okay.
I mean, you think you were gonna fuck with me with whiskey?
No, he did. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. It's like a golden grain of whiskey there. Well, that bit failed. Anyway.
You don't think I've drank high proof whiskey before? It's just all on the palate. There's nothing on the finish. That's actually not
What
very
is
good.
the break-even bottle tonight?
So break-even is Blue Note, which we sampled before, and it's $4 per pour all night, or $8 in a cocktail. So because we already had that, Matt offered me to drink whatever. He brought a bunch of stuff out here. You have Elijah Craig, I think, and this is something I never had. It's Nassif Family Reserve. It's the first time they've ever had the bottle. So it's out of Iowa, it said. So it's actually pretty nice. It's better than that Canadian bullshit.
I will say this. First off, I know what
Did you really
adamantium.
think that y'all were going to, like, punk me with a high-proof whiskey?
Look,
what the
bro,
fuck is this?
That was your juice, bro, okay? You guys fucking talk about the juice, okay? I'm just here to fucking drink. Anyway,
fuck outta
I
here.
know what adamantium is. Unobtainium is not adamantium, okay? Yes, I'm very excited for House of Dragon on Sunday. Okay, let's get back focus.
Right.
Okay,
we are 28 minutes in, and we have not talked at all about Miles Brennan leaving or the quarterback
Okay,
situation.
hold on. Malik Neighbors did well today. I had another question. What I was going to say on the Mekhi Gardner front is good. Cornerbacks need to be irrationally confident.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can play that position. Like, even if Mekhi Gardner doesn't start, I want him to feel like, fuck you, I should be starting, this is bullshit, and fuck anybody he gets to line up against. I applaud that sort of attitude out of my defensive backs. Like, I've fought with more defensive backs that had no business fighting me, given the size difference.
Chauncey
But they just gotta want to take on the world.
Yeah, I love it. And Malik Neighbors today had Malik Neighbors in the...
Oh, thank you. Unobtainium is the fucking mineral in Avatar that they're going after. The dumbest, goddamn, laziest name. Imagine you make a $400, $500 million movie and you name the mineral Unobtainium. Get the hell out of here. Sorry, continue.
Malik Neighbors had in the goal line one-on-one drills. Malik Neighbors beat Colby Richardson, beat him badly. That's the other big takeaway. Mason Taylor.
Okay, I had it right here. I was going to ask how Mason Taylor did.
So Brian Kelly told us the last time we had a chance to talk to him that Mason Taylor was coming along. He was a pleasant surprise. He did run with the ones and the twos today, and they actually threw him the ball. Like, on the first drive, 22 had a nice PBU. Colby Richardson had a nice pass breakup on Kayshon Boutte. It was actually kind of stunning. First time I've seen anyone make a play on Boutte.
Well, let's go, Colby.
So it was 3rd and 3, and Jaden Daniels threw it to Mason Taylor in the left flat and got 7 yards. I mean, they converted a 3rd down with the first team offense, throwing it to the freshman. And then he had a 14-yard reception in the next possession from Nussmeier. So they threw him the ball. And he's out there with the ones, and they are throwing him the football. I don't know if he can block for shit, but he's an athletic dude who can catch, and they're going to throw him the ball.
Okay, Caleb said, can Mason Taylor block? I don't know. I will say this, though. The one practice I did get to go to, I asked somebody I was talking about, I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Because he's huge. He's skinny, but he's huge. What is he, like 6'7", like 250?
He's like 6'5", 250.
Okay, 6'5", 250. But he kind of looks skinny still, which is weird, which shows you he's got like this frame where he can really bulk up. It's almost like his dad was a Hall of Fame football player. And like we said, like people care about bloodlines in this business. It's wild.
I want to show you, I hope I can find it quickly. I want to show you a video of, here it is. All right, this was the one-on-one that Mason Taylor got against 28. This is Major Burns. Look.
Okay.
This is I get this is bad for all of you watching, but I just want your reaction to this.
Yes, this is good, though, because tight ends are supposed to be mismatches on safeties.
So this is on Jacques Doucet's Twitter if you want to go see it. I'm sure other people have it. But this is Mason Taylor against Major Burns. Okay, this is a starting safety against a freshman tight end. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Watch.
All right. I mean, look how big. Oh, my God, he broke him down, dude.
Double moved him.
Wow, he's so big.
And then this was in the team period. This was the first down catch on 3rd down.
Yeah,
that went for 7 yards.
Tackle. That first one was not a tackle.
He went in motion, turned upfield, caught the ball, and went out of bounds.
Look, and the reason why we're making such a big deal out of this is because Denbrock and Kelly fucking love tight ends, and it's literally been maybe the biggest weakness on the roster thus far. So, like Kelly said in his press conference the other day, if like the emergence of a freshman is greatly welcome, because it helps to solve one of the glaring, as much as it can, but it helps to solve one of the glaring weaknesses of the team.
All right, let's talk about quarterbacks. So Miles Brennan leaves. Go ahead and give your I haven't heard your thoughts. I mean, I know you know Miles. We've talked about that plenty, but I haven't heard your thoughts.
No, I mean, look, man, it's, I think my thoughts are not very interesting because they're the same as many others. I think it's a very easy situation to empathize with. The line that I have been using is, I always grew up hearing sometimes it's better be lucky than good. Miles is one of the rare examples of sometimes it doesn't matter if you're good if there's just too much bad luck. I probably could have delivered that, better turn of phrase, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, a lot of the two words that I think define his career would be hard work and heartbreak. Transformed his body every time it seemed like it was his time. It was, an unholy, next level, true football god transfers in out of nowhere, like literally a transcendent. It would be if like you were like the fucking captain of the Trojans or something, and then like Achilles came walking through the door. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You worked your way up, and then this literal god king walks through the door, and Joe Burrow. Then we all know about the injuries and everything. I know me and you disagree about the 3 games. I think he showed great improvement in those 3 games. But at the end of the day, football is a meritocracy. And the timing of everything and the practice just didn't work out for him, man. Jaden Daniels, you've been on this since very early on. He is a better fit for what Denbrock and Kelly want to do and have traditionally done. And honestly, when I saw Miles play the other day, like, if you're going to beat out Daniels, you have to be so quick in your decision-making. You have to be so effective in throwing the ball that the coaches are willing to accept giving up any threat of the run because of how deadly effective you are dissecting a defense. And if that's the goal you're trying to hit, when I went out to practice, it felt like he was a tick slow for that. Like, the ball's got to be out of your hands the second you hit your back foot. Like, you have to be so much better. And that wasn't the case. And also, every human being has a breaking point, man. When you're done, you're done. Again, to speak personally, when I got cut It was the last day of cuts during NFL camp, and I had played a ton during preseason. Like, I had a really good opportunity. I was on the edge of practice squad. Like, there's a world out there where maybe I, like, kept working out, stayed in it, kept trying to make it, and maybe I have no great aspirations what I could have been, but, you know, maybe get another practice squad shot, hang out for a couple years on a roster or something. But I was done. I was sick of the kind of job anxiety. I was sick of the work, this just constant impending doom. Is this bad play going to lead to the end of my career? Like, when you hear every athlete say this, the day when you just know you're done, you don't want to be out there anymore. It's like when Lance Moore signed with the Falcons for a single day and then was like, you know what?
Kiko Alonso.
Fuck this, dude. Kiko Alonso with the Saints this year.
One day.
He's like, fuck this. Like,
done.
Jake talks about it. So we all reach that point at different points in our lives, and if you're a rational human being, I think you can empathize with Miles going through 6 years, 4 head coaches, 5 OCs, battling with like 18 different quarterbacks or whatever it was. Like, it's just a fucking lot to ask on a human being. And then, out of nowhere, the emergence of Garrett Nussmeier. And that's the bigger piece in all of this, is that it wasn't like you're not going to be the starter, you're number 2. It was you're not going to be the starter, you're number 3.
Yeah.
And so imagine that blow after you've been through that journey. And so I find it very easy to empathize.
Have you ever looked at Marlon Favorite's career after LSU?
I mean, I guess I know vaguely about it.
I remember
he got a Super Bowl ring. Practice squad, baby.
I remember interviewing Big Fave years ago, and we talked about this specifically. In 2009, he was with the Panthers, Rams, Chiefs, Seahawks, and Saints. That's 5 teams in 1 year. 2010, he was with the Bills, Colts, Hartford Colonials, then with the New England Patriots. So 5 teams his first year, 4 teams his second year in 2 different leagues. 2011, he started with the Patriots, went to the Eagles, the Rams, cut. 2012 to 14, he was with the New Orleans Voodoo in the Arena 2. He also, in 2012, got a look with the Washington Redskins in something called the Sacramento Mountain Lions.
The Sacramento Mountain Lions? Let's fucking go, dude.
My point is, some people want the dream so badly.
Yes, and that's why some people like that make it.
Some people need it, right?
Yeah.
Miles neither wanted it or needed it anymore, and that's okay. That's okay.
You know, it's interesting you talk about that because it's something, you know, when I lay my head down on the pillow at night and you think about, you know, what has happened in your life, it's rare that you find a professional athlete from privilege. It's not that it does not happen, but it is rarer than the other case, and it's exactly what you're kind of referencing there, where if you have a safety net of your family, if you were raised with a silver spoon, essentially like I was, you don't have the motivation always that others do. And I don't mean that, like, I don't mean that in like a woe is me way. No, what I am very thankful to have grown up without that anxiety and stress. What I'm saying is, when I saw a guy like Tyron come in the locker room and his motivation was so clearly consuming, like all-consuming, is the best way that I can describe the passion that Tyrann Mathieu operates his life with. Like, he wanted to provide for his family maybe in a way that he did not come up with, and that consumed him wholly and fully, and it was inspiring, and it was incredible to watch. And he's just the most extreme example. It's a lot of guys that I played with and knew, but I do find that those guys have more success because they put in the fucking work. You know, a lot of times I was maybe worried about going and fucking partying on the weekend versus doing the extra work. And that's not the case with some of these guys because they feel like it is their best chance to make it and to set their family up in a way that they have not been set up before. And, yeah, I think that motivation is very real. And that's not 100%. Nothing in this life is 100%, right? Garrett Nussmeier's grown up son of an NFL coach. He's going very well. He's still a dog. He still fucking wants it. Mike Piazza was super wealthy growing up. Like he's still there's
Patrick
plenty of
Mahomes
examples.
is the son of a Major League Baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that shit happens. You can make it,
but some people it is their opportunity. It is the opportunity they have. We've got 20 minutes left. Let's just get to y'all and do your questions. Jordan Haddad, Trivia Carter, LSU Sway, Brennan McGlynn, Bilbo, Brett DeGrow, Dustin Blanchard. What's going on, y'all? Appreciate everybody watching. Fire away with your questions. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Or no? I mean, I've got a notebook
I don't
full
think,
of shit. We could get into it more. I mean, the thing about Daniels, I know people there's a lot of people that think that I'm just like a Daniels, jock rider and have been. That's not the case. My explanation has been what it's been all along. It's circumstantial. Like they brought him in for a reason. He does what they want him to do. He's the most experienced guy. Like 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. It just makes sense. So if you ask me, I believe both Daniels and Nussmeier will play in the opener and in week 2 against Southern. And then week 3 you're playing.
Oh, so you think they will play both? Well, you think they'll play both against FSU?
Unless
if it's a close game, you think they'll play both?
If Jaden Daniels gets the start and goes right down the field, and it's like it was today in the first drive, and it's 7 plays, 70 yards, here's a touchdown right up your ass, why switch? But if you have a game where there's a feeling out period, I think they may play both. Yeah, I mean, I do. And I think both will obviously play against Southern, and then you got Mississippi State week 3, and by then you better know who your fucking guy is.
It's interesting because I think they're going to know by the end of camp. I feel like Denbrock and Kelly have been projecting that.
Bro, by the way, I tried.
Now, if he goes in there and loses a couple games, then you maybe switch up, but okay, sorry, finish.
I was eager to get the microphone today to ask Brian Kelly if he will name a starter. And the way I was going to phrase the question is, you went through this a year ago with a transfer coming in and a quarterback battle, and you named a starter. Do you plan on – and it was August the 14th when they named the starter, Jack Cohn from Wisconsin, the transfer. Do you plan on naming a starter, and are there pros or cons to naming or not naming a starting quarterback? I think it would have been fascinating to know that answer. They never got the fucking microphone back to me because people were asking – well, whatever they were asking. But anyway. But, I mean – and by the way, how did nobody ask about Miles Brennan either? First time we had an opportunity to talk to Brian Kelly, and nobody asked about Miles Brennan. I mean, it's – anyway.
Media slipping, bitches.
I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to criticize the media. That ain't my game. I don't like – I know people have a job to do, and a lot of times when you're a reporter, like you may – like if you're a writer, maybe you are that day writing about a certain position group. And so you have to get a quote from the coach on that position group.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where, like, I don't know how Brian Kelly on this day, like, didn't get that question in, man. Like, I had the second question, and I asked him, is your starting offensive line set?
Which is a good question,
Which is a very good question. I mean, it's
okay. Let's not give ourselves too much credit
It's
here.
the biggest question in camp, and we've seen the same guys so far. I mean, it's of course a good question, but I mean, there were more that needed to be asked. Okay, all right, let's go to your questions. Thank you all
here
for
we go.
watching. But real quick, we're up to 223.
Yeah, hell yeah,
live.
dude. Let's go, dude.
Please
like and share.
Just do a quick. There's only 45 likes right now, so if you're watching on mobile, X out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up, hit live chat. The comments come right back. I know we say it often, but that helps so much with algorithm and positioning for all of our shows.
We have to please the algorithmic gods that rule our existence.
If it's OTB or AFR or Hunt and Hill or Scone T or Whiskey and Wine, like all of it matters tremendously. So please, please, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet, and smash the like button on YouTube.
All right, T-Bob, what position worries y'all most? What's the weakness?
Offensive line.
So I was going to say, a more interesting question is, has your opinion changed since the beginning of camp? Because you would have said inside linebacker coming into camp, I thought. Or maybe even cornerback. We've said cornerback before on this show.
I would have said offensive line, linebacker would have been the two that I would have said. And I think linebacker. I mean,
you're still starting a freshman left tackle.
I feel good. I feel good about. That's the thing I said earlier that changed is I feel good about the defense. The defensive line is very good. By the way,
I'm worried about overhyping the defensive line, so that makes me feel better.
They worked in Bryce Langston today with the twos in place of Jacoby and Guillory. Guillory ran two, but we saw Bryce Langston play. He's wearing 81. Weird defensive lineman number.
The thing is, you can go 3 deep at the D-line. Like, you really can. So you can play. It's not like the O-line where if you don't win the job, there's a good chance you're not playing. Like, you will see
They'll
series. Yeah, you'll rotate on D-line.
And so their base defense, your inside backers are Mike Jones and Greg Penn. And when you have the luxury after that of rotating in Baskerville, Weeks, I think they're very good. And then they've got numbers and talent and experience. I don't think anybody in the secondary has the ceiling or as good as Elias Ricks or Dwight McLaughlin. But you've got a bunch of dudes that have played 5 and 6 years. Every one of their corners are either a 5th or a 6th-year guy.
Is Sage Ryan going to start nickel?
No.
Okay.
Greg Brooks, number 3.
Is Fouché back starting? Because
No.
the other day when I was interesting.
He's a safety running behind
Jay Ward and Major Burns.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Let's get into some questions. Okay, so what's the weakness? You say O-line now?
O-line.
So you feel good about running back?
They don't have depth, but I liked the first 3 guys a lot.
Okay.
I like if John Emery's your 3. I'm telling you, Noah Cain looks good. Noah Cain looks really good.
Okay.
And Armani Goodwin has transformed his body. Like, I'm comfortable running.
Can quarterback be the answer, or are we just saying that's not the
offensive
answer because
line.
quarterback's always always impactful? I can feel your logic on O-line there, which is maybe like kind of a bullish takeaway because I like the O-line setup now more than I did kind of coming into camp because I think Bradford's going to be a very good right tackle, but we'll see. Kobe asks Scone T. Score prediction against FSU based off of what QB y'all think will start. I don't know if I can base it off of QB.
I have no idea.
LSU wins by 10, but I feel like that's my homerism just coming out. I don't know.
How about 27-23?
I was feeling a little 31-21 myself.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
Jordan Haydad, Ask Aston Titties. That's not the name of the show. How the fuck Mason Taylor not starter after straight hooping in camp? Mason Taylor. Okay, sorry. I was thinking of Mason Smith. I was like, huh?
So I think
tight end's another one where you can rotate.
They're gonna rotate, and we also have watched them do a lot of like short yardage and goal line drills. By the way, they did a short yardage drill today, and the defense fucked the offense up. Like,
that's good though. This D-line,
right.
Sorry, we talked about it before the show. I should have said it. This D-line should fuck up this O-line. I would be worried if an offensive line featuring a first-time center, a first-time right tackle, 2 transfer guards, and a true freshman 18-year-old left tackle. Like, if we're talking about this D-line, like they should be one of the best in the SEC, I need them to fuck up this offensive line. I was actually a little concerned the other day, Matt, when I didn't feel like that happened. So I've actually find this to be, we're all trying to solve the camp paradox. Does success mean one side is bad or the other side is good? This reassures me that the defensive line dominated in short yardage.
Here it is. So this was the short yardage part. They went. Goodwin ran first team in the short yardage. By the way,
power runner, 5'8", 200, dude.
No gain. Ali Gay tackle for loss. No gain.
Who did Ali Gay get at the TFL on? Do you know? Was
22.
He, okay. 22. No. Like, was he? Who was he up against?
Oh, he was at the right end on this time.
Okay,
so he would have been against Campbell.
Which Ali Gay should fuck up a freshman 18-year-old, even a very talented one.
No gain, and it was Richardson who made the tackle from his corner spot. Then they did a hard count and actually drew him off sides. Then the one win for the offense was Noah Cain, left side with the 2. So it was you
have star parentheses. Exclamation
because everyone went because the left side was Emory Jones and it was Emory Jones
Emory
and
Jones
74
good,
and 74
Marcus Dumerville.
So Dumerville and Jones
be good, though, dude.
Blew the dudes on the right side off the ball. And I think that was Langston and
Emory Jones put Jacoby and Guillory down the other day. It was pretty damn impressive.
But Emory today, at one point, Brad Davis pulled him and put 77 Martinez in there. And
he's probably fucking up mentally.
Well, no, it was technique. He goes, "You don't use fucking good technique. You get your ass kicked in this league." They pulled him out.
Yeah,
so
there you go. He's a true freshman.
Yeah. No, but Brian Kelly did mention Emory today as one of the guys still vying for a starting job. So.
Okay, there you go. Good though. I'm glad the D-line is dominated there.
The goal, it was overwhelming. Like you looked at it and you were like, oh fuck. It was the hammer and the nail thing with the short yardage today.
If this team is going to win the amount of games they want them to win, that has to be what the D-line is.
Yes, but it also means this is why you have to have a mobile quarterback, because you can't play in a phone booth. This started because you were asking about tight end and Mason Taylor, and they were doing, in the short yardage, they used 2 tight ends. And they can't move this defense in a phone booth. They cannot do it.
Yeah.
Like, every time we've seen them go short yardage, the defense fucks up the offense. Like, it looks like 5A against 1A. It's just, it's not even fair.
I know, and when they short yardage, the
when
one
they
practice I got to go to, they did it during fucking.
When they spread the field like they did today in the scrimmage and they go fast, the offense had a lot of success. All right, go ahead, sorry.
Is Avatar just Bilbo says, Avatar just a futuristic version of Pocahontas? Yes, Fern Gully, the American Tale of Settling the West. It's all of those things.
I wonder if he got the Bland's bottle I told him for his son.
Oh, yeah, that's right. To open up in 21 years. Mark Cumby says, Hilly said Jaden is similar to Jordan Jefferson, just faster. What say you? Have you been to the practices? Yeah, that feels accurate. The thing that people don't understand about Jordan is Jordan was a very good quarterback. Please, let us not judge anyone based off of the development that he was given while at LSU.
And the offense he was in.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by development, right?
Okay.
Like Les Miles got completely broken by that Jarrett Lee pick 6 year, and the number one thing became after that, I don't care if you hold on to the ball for 17 seconds, do not throw a fucking pick. And it's a horrible environment to raise quarterbacks in. You had no forward-thinking offenses. Like, you really cannot judge a lot of those quarterbacks. If they had a coordinator like we've seen here recently, maybe outside of Pete's, there's a good chance that they would have had more success. So, yes, Jordan was really fucking good. He just never got to reach his maximum potential because coaching fucking matters.
Jordan has a better arm than Jaden Daniels. Real quick.
Oh, that makes sense. Jordan did have a fucking killer arm.
Brian Arsenault said, Matt, what you saw, this is Facebook, what you saw today, you think the team is game ready? No, I wish they had a week 0 game. I really wish.
We're going to get that. We'll save that because we're going to get to that later in the questions.
Kevin Miller said, what's up with Jack Besh? He was back out there today. He did have like some type of compression deal on his lower leg where he had the shin splints or whatever, but he was back out there. He didn't go in the team period but did everything else. Thad Landry, Matt, what's your favorite bourbon? Best thing I've ever had is Pappy 15. Patrick McKenzie, T-Bob, how mad were you against Tennessee in 2010 when you threw your helmet?
Oh, dude, I was fucking furious. Thought we lost to Tennessee. They were goddamn garbage at the time.
Dooley.
Ask us, more excited for Saints or LSU football?
So, I think, all right, can I answer it in a different way?
Mm-hmm.
The Saints have a higher ceiling this year.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm more curious to see what LSU does, and it feels like the unknown of Brian Kelly, new era, the optimism, the growth from what the last 2 years have been. That's very exciting. It's very exciting. I have a much higher expectation for this Saints team, and I'm hoping LSU shows great progress. And usually those are the really fun years when you do what you're not expected to do.
Yeah, no. This has been one of my core sports radio tenets. The happiness of a fan base is not actually the objective results. It's where the results land in relation to the expectation, right? So
that
when you
sense.
Exceed, it doesn't matter if you win 5 games. You're going to have a Super Bowl. Look at Kentucky. Kentucky football's out here jerking off on John Calipari because they won 10 games. Like, what the fuck? Like, Kentucky football's good, don't get me wrong, but, like, Kentucky is a basketball school.
Did you just air stroke your dick?
Yeah, well, I said, yeah. I think I'm a little more excited for the Saints because I fully believe LSU will be a resounding success in the Brian Kelly era.
I agree.
And so the unknown to me of Dennis Allen and Jameis Winston, while having like a very strong NFL roster, right? That's very rare where you have a roster that is great everywhere, but you're like, I don't know if the quarterback or the head coach can do it. And you're coming out of the Breeze Payton era. So I think I'm a little more on the Saints in terms of like interest this year.
I'm just glad I got my TikTok.
Fuck you. Is Mason Smith that good or the offensive line that bad? It's the eternal camp paradox.
No.
But I go Mason Smith that good.
No. Yo, Mason Smith is. Let me just say it this way. I think everyone watching right now understands that I am not the tell you what you want to hear guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can we understand that? Mm-hmm. If I thought he sucked, I would tell you I thought he sucked.
He would.
He's a guy that stay healthy. Nobody is going to block that motherfucker. He is it. And understand also, just for context, I've covered the team for 15 years, meaning gone to practices and seen these guys against each other.
Yeah.
Bro, there ain't many that look like him. I mean, the whole combo of the size, the physicality, the attitude, the athleticism, his arm length. I mean, as great as Dorsey was 6 feet tall with short arms. This dude is... What the fuck is Mason Smith? 6'5"?
No, he's scary looking. But sometimes on the interior, I mean, height isn't the word. Like lack of height.
I'm just saying. I'm just looking at the physicality.
No,
I'm
he
just
is.
Telling you,
Mason Smith is one of the scariest human beings I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's a reason this dude was a 5-star #1 defensive lineman. You should be excited about him because he's going to be a motherfucker for people to block. He's a problem.
And you gotta love the number 0.
I love it too.
It's such a fucking flex, dude. Bilbo says, is Arch's rating actually inflated for playing in the private school league? Look, I'll say this, man. Again, you can only do what you do against the competition that you are given, right?
You get a rating from all the camps and shit you go to. Go to the next one. Against the best people, Elite 11, quarterback, all that shit. That's where...
He didn't go to Elite 11, right?
The opening, all that shit. That's where you get your numbers. We got like 4 minutes. I'm done in 4 minutes. I'm going to eat that burger. I'm going to get a beer, eat that burger. I got 4 minutes.
You cannot ignore the bloodlines.
Let's go rapid fire. Go.
More infamous shoe, Cole Taylor or Miles flip-flop?
Cole Taylor.
I agree. What a game. Ask us. Nope. God damn it. All these questions.
Do you want me to do this?
No, chill out.
I'm looking at the fucking
Dustin Blanchard.
Chat.
When will Maddie Hudak be back on AFR? Bonk.
When they get back from
she's still covering Tulane.
She covers both, and she's...
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But she didn't go to Wisconsin, right? Because she's covering Tulane.
Well, she'd have to have an affiliate send her to Wisconsin to cover. Do you think Guarantee was going to send her to Wisconsin to cover? She's credentialed as for 104.5 ESPN. So if you want her on OTB, call her.
Oh, we're going to. She's going to host next time around. Hopefully.
Good.
A bot named Scooby-Doo. Scariest part of this FSU game for me is that they got a tune-up game of preparation.
They do. They play Duquesne.
What's y'all's biggest fear into this game? That's
UCLA had the same thing last year. They played Hawaii.
And I took it for granted last year, and it burned me. And so, that's my biggest fear as well. I think you hit the nail on the head, Scooby-Doo.
Do you understand the concept of rapid fire? Do you know how to just fucking hurry up and ask a question, answer a question?
I mean, you're kind of applying a lot of, bad energy to me right now, and I don't. This
is why, by the way, when I drop off my son at school and I listen to the last segment of an hour in OTB, it's 30 fucking seconds. Because you don't want to fucking just move.
Yeah.
Just fucking move.
Yeah, but also it's the expectation where when you start the hour, you can listen for fucking 20 minutes straight, and then you're good to go.
Or if I'm in the car when I'll listen to 8 fucking straight minutes of commercials.
Yeah, I know. It's a bad feeling, dude.
Fucking go. Hurry up.
Is there any truth to high school recruits losing a star after committing to LSU?
No. I heard you and Shay today about this. I was sitting outside of the McClendon.
Well, who better to clear it up than Shay?
Yeah, I was sitting outside the McClendon practice facility listening.
What the fuck? That wasn't a fucking 36-second segment. That was one of the long boys.
I only heard a little bit of it.
Oh, my God, dude. You're talking out of your fucking neck right now.
Suck. You have 1 minute, and I'm walking off this fucking show. We're doing an hour. It's 1 more minute. Hurry up.
Why is FSU different than UCLA last year? Coaching? I haven't gone deep on FSU yet. I know that Florida State fans are very
ask it again.
bullish.
I didn't hear it.
Why is FSU different than UCLA last year? Coaching?
Well, I'll tell you this, too.
I think coaching for LSU might matter in this case as well.
So, very quickly, if I'm on the fence about a game, there's 3 criteria I look at. Coaching, quarterback, venue. Last year, who's better, Chip Kelly or Ed Orgeron?
Yeah, Chip Kelly.
Who had the better quarterback, sophomore Max Johnson or senior Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
DTR.
Where did they play the game?
The Rose Bowl.
We all should have gone UCLA.
The only thing I'll say is, and I guess this is inherent to the coaching part, is that there was a shocking lack of understanding from both sides of the ball of the personnel that they had. For LSU, I mean. Like the fact that you don't run a single gap scheme run against
it's 8 o'clock.
UCLA, and then against Florida, you set the record doing it. So, yeah, yeah,
cool.
I guess
All
it's
right.
coaching.
Have a great night. Scone T. Smash the like button. We'll see you. I'm eating some burgers. Ready?